Hello, LEGO fans. Bricks Unbound here with another Building Hogwarts update. And lately I've been spending a lot of time doing rock work, but that's not quite as exciting. So I have a couple of smaller projects that I've been working on as well that I'll be showing off in this video. The first of which is that the stone bridge here is actually installed. There was a smaller mock version of it sitting on the tables forever, basically. But now I actually have it in place, built up in between the stone bridge tower, this one, and then one of the entrance hall or viaduct entrance hall towers on the right there. And it's relatively basic, just lots of little arch shapes in it. I do have an owl attached flying through to give it a little bit more character, so it's not just as much of an open space. The plan is that there'll be water also that comes through here, maybe a little bit of like rapids built up there before it comes into the larger lake section down here. But that's the tower. There is a entrance into, that's the bridge. There is an entrance into each tower on either end of it, as you would expect. The interiors of the towers currently don't have like steps leading up to it, but eventually I would like to do that as well. It is a little asymmetrical there, just based on the different heights of where it attaches to the different sides, but that is pretty accurate as well, I believe. Unfortunately, you don't get a great look at this in any of the shots from the movie. About the best ones you get that I could find was when Harry is being chased by the Horntail around Hogwarts. They kind of weave in and out of the various bridges in this section. So that is mostly what it's based off of. And then some very distant shots that I could find of like the actual model at the studio in London that I just had to scour the internet for. But I'm happy with how it turned out. I think it does a good job of actually making the two sections look connected here, which will also look better once the viaduct bridge is completely built up and attached to either side as well. But at least now there is a actual attached way between the two sections of the castle for students to move about. We'll take a look at it from the other side, as well as look at the other section little project that I have been working on here. And the reason I am doing things kind of seems maybe in reverse, but from the back of the build up towards the front, is because in order to work on sections, I need to actually get up on the tables. So I need this area in here to be pretty clear. Otherwise, I can't reach anything. So if I built up all the rock work and water and everything in the front first, it would be very hard to then work on the back. Whereas here, I can reach in and get everything. But I can't as I go around the corner. And there's some areas here that are even hard to reach. So that's why I'm doing this back to front. It doesn't look quite as photogenic from the usual angles of Hogwarts, but that's all right. So the other things I've been working on, like I said, lots of time and parts put into building up the shaping of rocks here. I definitely plan on putting more details on them, but I wanted to get the general shape in here, so I had something to actually set stuff back down on top of. This is a lot better than just hanging over the supports underneath things like the towers were before. So that took quite a bit of time. And then the other small little project here was putting in this courtyard in front of the astronomy tower. I think I'm going to call this one the Astronomy Tower Courtyard, because the one behind it is already called the Transfiguration Courtyard back there. So, Astronomy Tower Courtyard. And this appears in some of the Harry Potter video games. I think maybe the 5th and 6th year ones for like Xbox 360 and other systems around that time. There is a little courtyard here. You don't actually really go into it at all, but you can kind of see it from a distance. So what I've done is it is pretty empty right now. I am looking for suggestions of what to put in here, if there's any specific scenes you think would be interesting. But I do just have some pretty basically built benches sitting around the outside, as well as some ivy running along the wall. I would like to extend that plant there to run further down the length of it, just to make it a little bit more visually interesting. But also, I suppose the only real way you can see this at all is from basically right above it, which is not an angle that's super easy to get. but I do have quite a bit of space in here to fit in characters and objects or creatures or whatever I want to do to fill up the space. So like I said, if you have ideas for what could go in here, let me know down in the comments. And then as far as what I'm planning on next, I do still need to continue the rock work through here to at least about out to here. That way the structure of the rocks is done, and then I can attach the suspension bridge in place, get the cables attached, and actually have this look correct instead of it just sitting on top of some of these big ugly rock pieces there. And I'll also be able to reclaim those 6 pieces, which would be nice for other sections of the castle. In this area, so the owlry will be at about this location. Of course, students need a way to get up there, so there'll be a little path that comes off of here. I think I'll have it go across a little bridge that has a stream running under it into a little waterfall where I have these bricks just sitting there. Those bricks aren't what I'm going to use for the waterfall at all. They're just representing. That's the plan here. So a little stream going through here, bridge with the path coming over, and then the path will kind of wind up around the side of this structure to get into the entrance to the owlry, which is going to be around here. I might have to shift this back just a few studs for spacing, but shouldn't be anything too major, but that'll look pretty good once that's done. But I can't do the owlry section as far as put it in place. I obviously have it built, but I can't put it in place until I have filled in water and things underneath here. Because if I have all this built up and in place, I won't be able to reach in and get to things very easily. So have some work to do there. And then I'll also have plenty of room for some big cave under here. Potentially, it's obviously not the actual correct location, but I could potentially do the cave with where the locket horcrux was supposed to be hidden. That could be interesting because it'll be a fairly large structure in here, or empty space underneath the rock work that I could work with there to do that. So that could be a fun thing there eventually. But that'll finish up this video. I have been doing some work in this area. Unfortunately, I ran out of parts, so I couldn't actually get very far. But I think the next update will be talking a little bit more about the hospital wing tower and hopefully have the exterior of that done, assuming my next parts orders arrive in time. But thank you for watching this video. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and please keep coming back for more videos.